This is 1 Million Cups. It's put on by the Kauffman Foundation. It's a weekly free event for the public to come and talk about their ideas and present them. You sign up on our website. We give you a little coaching. You talk to a mentor. We pull your idea in tight. And then you come and present it to the public. And 1 Million Cups is a collective idea put on by the Kauffman Foundation that it takes a cumulative, the whole community in the country every morning getting up, having that cup of coffee before you go to work, the cup of coffee on the way to work, the cup of coffee with your team as you go through your morning plans, the afternoon walk, coffee, talk, meeting to the coffee shop, and then afterwards when everyone has to get together and finish that last project. It's all part of the business community and being an entrepreneur. And part of that is to say thank you to the local community for helping us just be here, because every week we have people showing up. Sometimes it's a large crowd, sometimes it's a short crowd, but I hope this is something that we can make that's a sustainable, long-lasting item that we can help share and be prosper in the community. And today we have Giovanni Galasso. And he's going to be doing Boa Leashes. He has 6 minutes, so here we go.
Thanks a lot. I just wanted to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to come here today. Sorry, 1 second. So to kick it off, my company is Boa Leashes, and I kind of came up with a concept for this idea about 2 years ago when I got my first dog. He's a very active, sporty dog, and I decided that it would be really important to take him outdoors all the time and experience that with him. Mainly hiking, backpacking, and bike riding. And in doing that, I came up with a lot of problems with my leash that I currently use. It's been challenging to take him outdoors and still have the freedom of the outdoors is kind of the issue. And I have had issues training him off leash and getting him from a closed environment to an open environment. Some of the issues, and this is entering into the problem, is tugging, safety, control, and tangles. So when I'm on my bike out there riding those small, short, single-track trails, I run into problems with him tugging me off of that trail, and it's dangerous for both of us. I've broken a spoke doing it before, and just a single length leash is really difficult to accomplish that. Safety. If you ever go down and grab a retractable leash that's currently on the market to stop your dog from running away, you probably will cut your hand. There's a lot of information online about it, and people have been complaining about it for a long time. Control is another big issue. If your dog's off leash, you have no control over what's going on. There's ticks, there's snakes, there's bears, there's all sorts of animals, even in Bidwell Park, and it's dangerous to have your dog off leash. And finally, tangling. I had a really long leash for a long time to train him outdoors, and it didn't work that well because we were always getting tangled up. So what I came up with, my solution, is a fully retractable hands-free dog leash. The concept is that it has an automatic braking feature with gears and springs to help slow your dog down to a stop so that you don't get that constant tugging. You also get to experience the hands-free feature, which means that you can experience the outdoors a little bit more freely and don't have to worry about holding on to your dog. And it gives you more control. Your center of gravity is at your waist, so that's a big thing in terms of being able to control your body weight and your dog pulling. Today I currently have a prototype that I'll show you guys. This is the shell of it, and then these are the internal components. They both work. I just wanted to model them this way for you guys, and I'll pass them out right now. So the concept came to me about a year ago, and I was trying to figure out how to do it, how to pull it off, and I turned to 3D printing as a solution to my problem. I pretty much learned 3D printing in about 4 months, and I learned CAD in about 4 months. That started January of this year. Last weekend, I ran into issues with the makerspace because I ran out of hours and used probably twice as many hours as I should have. And the 3D printing club's 3D printers actually went down. So over the weekend, I actually bought a 3D printer and I manufactured all the black pieces you see in there, and they print really well, and they're doing really good. This really offers potential for our company because I could probably print about twice as fast now and recover from mistakes. Like I broke the shaft, the internal part the other day, and reprinted it in about an hour. So it's just expediting that process, and I'm getting to learn new things every day. Potentially in the next 6 months, we'd like to do product testing with 3D printed parts, but manufacturing with materials is kind of challenging currently. So our target market is outdoorsy people. There's about 40 million outdoorsy people that are active that own a dog. Of those 40 million, our beachhead is 9.3 million frequent outdoor enthusiasts, which means that they hike, bike, do everything outdoors at least 30 plus times a year. Our competition is a waist-mounted leash that it has some flex in it, but it's static. The second one is Leash New, which is wrist mounted and it is retractable but doesn't have any braking features. And Thunder Leash, which has a distance control knob but is handheld. Our traction currently is, I've just won at BCC Chico State competition about a couple weeks ago, and we currently have 20 people signed up for product testing through boaleashes.com, and this Friday I have Future 4. So how I'd like to acquire my customers is by meeting and greeting most people in the Chico area, because there's a lot of outdoor enthusiasts, and connecting with them via social media and YouTube. I want to have like a channel where it's informative and like gets people to know what's going on in the dog community, and also gets them to know what our products do and how to use them. And I'd like to track my story on social media. I think it's a really cool story that I've done a lot of work all by myself, and I want people to know exactly what I'm doing. In terms of actually acquiring the customers, I want to set up a mailing list through online advertisement and funneling people into my website. Currently the website's set up for product testing, but I can easily switch it over to sales whenever I'm ready to do that. So this is our business model. In January of 2019, I plan on starting to acquire about 2,000 pre-sales through Kickstarter. That way I have enough funds to start manufacturing. Then I want to get people on our website and in local retail stores, and then expand in later years to Amazon, PetSmart, and Petco. Finally, our opportunity is that this is not just outdoorsy people. Everyone that has a dog could benefit from this idea and this concept, and we really want to tailor our leashes to fit your individual needs and the size of your dog. Thank you for listening to me, and like I said, we are Boa.
All right, so now we're going to have our 20 minutes of question and answer. So, anything you didn't fit in?
Do you have one for kids yet?
That's
what I thought he meant when he said it's not just for outdoorsy people, it's for parents too.
So the technology that I came up with is going to be implemented in a variety of leashes. So the way I see it working is that technology works well, and I can change the size of it, the durability of it, the distance control, all that kind of stuff, the weight of it, so that it fits your needs, whether you are with a really big dog and you're a lighter person, or whether you're active and need a lighter leash, or whether you are in a park and you really want a lot of distance for your dog, or if you're on a bike and you really want short distance, but that spring really needs to be like on point so you don't get pulled off the trail. So yeah, I mean, does that kind of answer the question a little bit?
Sure, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. I love it. I love it. I love the idea. For sure.
Thank you.
Can you physically show us how to use this? Because I'm a little confused by how it
Yeah.
actually works, and then I was curious about your price point.
Yeah, sure. So, so to break it down, this part here is your spool, where the leash obviously goes onto.
Okay.
It spins freely, and when you put it in here, the shaft of it is a gear, and then this outer ring is also a gear, and then there are 3 gears here. So this system is exactly what you use in an automatic transmission.
Planetary gear set.
It's a planetary gear set, yeah. So once this goes in here, this is your distance control now.
Okay.
Okay, so as the dog pulls on it, it'll reduce the revolutions from in here to here. It's like a 1 in 8, 1 in 7 about, depending on the size of the spool. Once it gets reduced down, these 4 prongs kind of fit into this part of it, and they lock it in so that the springs slow your dog down to stop. So the way I have it set up currently is these are lighter springs and these are heavier springs. This is the way I would set it up for my dog if I'm on my bike. So he's got this much distance in terms of like gear reduction to have freedom, and then these heavier springs really slow him down to a stop. So it's the transition from these springs to these springs that like stop slowly. And this is more of like that buffer distance that he has to move around, and it'll also retract it back into. There's no, usually you have like a retracting spring on the side. I got rid of that. So it's just this. Yeah. And then obviously it fits together. It's a little messed up right now just because the size of the springs aren't exactly what I wanted. I swapped these out last minute just to see what it did. So yeah. Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Cool.
And what's the price point?
Oh, it's $60.
$60.
Yeah, so it's pretty competitive with the other brands because they're close to that point. Sometimes they drop the price, in sales and stuff, but I don't think they have as many like features as I have. So I don't want to ask way ridiculous of a price, like 70, 80
Right.
bucks. I've had people that say they'd pay that much, but I don't think the general population would be willing to pay that much. And I don't think I would need to set it at that big of a price point if I get my materials correct. So, yeah.
Are you planning to sell locally, or like what's your distribution?
Sports Ltd is a local retailer.
Right.
Yeah, and then I want to do online just because I can reach people easily and say, just go to my website and check it out, Yeah. So locally for sure. We are in the Sierra Nevadas, so
Right.
the majority of the outdoor market is right here.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the manufacturing costs? Have you been able to look into that at all?
Yeah, so a big part of this is the R&D, which is what I spearheaded first. I was like, I need to figure out if this thing's going to work and what materials. From there, let's say I did injection molding. I got an estimate for around $40,000, give or take a couple thousand per injection mold. And so getting the amount of injection molds smaller will lower my costs. I think it's around 105,000, and that's a fair estimate. It's like right in the middle. It could be a lot less. It could be a lot more. So I don't know. I think that the campaign on Kickstarter is going to really help push me forward past that.
Do you have any local manufacturing partners yet to help get a working prototype?
I don't have any local manufacturing partners. I'm talking to like all the engineering students and all the teachers. I have like 3 engineering friends. They're just busy. Engineers are super busy, and they're like, dude, this is awesome. I can't help you. I don't have the time. I have a buddy that just graduated in the Bay Area though, and he was a big influencer on this project. He does mechanical watches, and they're all 3D printed. And he redesigned.
What?
Yeah, he redesigned half or $250,000 watch just using 3D
Is he in
printing.
Chico?
No, he's in the Bay Area. He's a really old friend of mine, and he has manufacturing ties, so he's going to help me out with that when I get to that point. And he's also helped me out with a lot of this too. Yeah. Go ahead.
So I have a dog that when I take her for a walk, she just pulls nonstop. I have a retractable leash.
Yeah.
And so it's always like pulling my shoulder.
Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong, or I'm just trying to make sure I understand what your product does. Basically, it's like a retractable leash for the first part, but then when it hits the end,
It slows them down.
it's caught, right?
Yeah. You got
And
it.
is it adjustable somehow? You were saying like this is a setup for your bike riding?
Yeah, so that kind of gets into his question where it's like, what leash does, like what purpose does this leash serve? And it depends on the user. That's my motto. It's like, you're a different person than this person, and you guys all need specialty leashes, basically.
So
maybe there's going to be 4 or 5 leashes.
Okay, so there would be different products as
Yeah,
opposed to
yeah.
one adjustable product.
Yeah, with some foundational like technology that I've been working on.
Yours would be the crazy dog.
And is there some kind of adjustment ability in each of those products?
I had that in a previous model, but it was really hard to manufacture in 3D printing. Things don't come out exactly how they do on the computer. So I do have that model, but I'm not focusing on that because this is what I need right now, and this is what I know will work in a lot of products because it's solid with the manufacturing I have currently available.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you worked with Chico Stick in their engineering their plastic molding?
No, I haven't. I've really been focusing on learning 3D printing. I have only so much time to learn new things, and I've been meaning to write a list of things I've learned this semester just doing this project, and I was trying to talk to the plastics guy literally yesterday, and he was not in his office. It was lunchtime. I think his name is Green. So,
They have a whole group that works together. It'd be nice to bring them together to have them look at your stuff, like you're saying, bring the molds to a smaller or.
yeah, and
nicer.
I know it's feasible. I just don't know exactly the details. But like for instance, this could already be like, I'd probably say 25% smaller because I'm using screws from a hardware store to put them together.
Yeah.
And if you look at the thickness of that, like that's just to compensate for the screws. So realistically speaking, if you got a smaller shell to fit this is your limiting factor. This and the spool itself, which is how all leashes are. Well, maybe not this part, but the spool. So this is the size of a small spool. If you can get a shell around that a little bigger, it's tough enough. That's the goal. But I haven't focused on it like specifically. It's a big detail thing, and I want to make sure I have solid designs to push into that later on. Yeah. Another question?
Yeah, what do you see the future for your business? Are you looking to create a whole line of products?
I think so.
Or just focusing on the leashes?
Focusing on the leashes, starting off. I want that to be successful first. I don't know past that. I think that's a lot of work. Yeah.
Is Boa the name of your dog? What is
Boa is the name of my dog, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think for me, like, from like a marketing perspective, the one thing I would like love to see like right up front is like your actual dog, because dogs and kids are like gold. They're like marketing gold mines. So like.
So no, I understand. That's what I had. I think I deleted the slide from here. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Like this slide and your graphics are so pretty. They're really impressive compared to a lot of people I see when they're first getting this. But I'm like, where's the dog?
I just changed it last night.
Okay.
I had some. I had a conversation with my teacher about a slide, and this was the problem slide.
Gotcha.
So, and this is my dog. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm tweaking that part a bit. Yeah.
Sweet.
And this is my website as well.
I know. I peeked at it last night.
Okay, cool.
What I would do is have Boa Leashes somewhere on that, on the home screen, splash screen, whatever that is, the top. Just because, I type Boa and I get Bank of America, and that's not probably a great association. So.
Okay, wait, say that again. I missed you.
Well, BOA is Bank of America.
Oh, okay.
So if you have BOA leashes,
yeah,
because leading, there's.
Yeah, I'm working with my my artist to do that. He wrote up a quote for me about a week ago and hasn't done the work yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd also like to see maybe a tagline that more explains what the product is as opposed to leading the back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great too, but just looking at this, I have no idea what your product is.
Definitely, yeah.
It'd be nice if it said, stuff.
Yeah.
I also think there's a little bit of a hurdle there because you have this new concept. So, like for your Kickstarter and stuff, part of it's going to be just, explaining what it is in a easily digestible way.
And I think that's where YouTube is going to be your best friend.
Yeah.
Like
having
a video on your homepage, videos across the board do better on social media and everything in general. So like,
I really
that's
do
a good
like them. I
point.
think they're going to be good.
I think what's important, other than just like, because when I held it, I was like, okay, what the heck? Is not just like talking about it, is maybe investing in a videographer, like with you and your dog out and about. So people are not always the best listeners.
Yeah.
So like physically seeing how it helps you and the problem it solves for people, I think
Yeah.
would be.
Did you see the video on here?
No, I didn't watch it.
It's on here.
Oh, okay.
Is that like the infomercial video, like struggle with leashes, and the person's like,
No,
oh,
it just highlights.
you
one
need
minor
Boa
episode.
leash. It's like, oh, so
So this is just like, I did this in one day.
Okay, so you did exactly what I thought. I should have scrolled down more. It's below the fold, man. I just give it to me above the fold.
Yeah, push it up more. I think
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
Yes.
So first of all, your presentation is way better than when you presented on campus.
Yeah.
Congratulations to winning, but it's
Yay.
improved a lot.
Thank you.
So good luck with the final four on Friday. But I was curious about your customer research. You said that you're starting to collect interested people, and I'm curious to, have you surveyed people? If so,
Yeah.
how many? What kind of questions are you asking?
We did an online survey of 150 people, and I did an in-person survey of, I think, close to 20 people, or I think it might have been 30. I got around 20 numbers, and I've been meaning to call them all and say, hey, I'm really close to getting a prototype. Are you still interested? So it's those 20 people that I haven't just had the time to get back to yet.
Did you get a chance to ask them about, what size or weight would they
Yeah,
be willing
I
to
asked all
carry
those-
on them?
I asked all those questions. Yeah,
Okay.
I had a girl that was running in Bidwell, and I stopped her. I have a couple people with really big dogs. I had a couple people. I haven't had any mountain bikers yet, but I do that a lot, so I kind of know what my needs are. But I've had hikers, just people out there for the day. Some people at the dog park too. So I need to do more of that. I'm only one person.
Well, that goes into a follow-up question. Who is your team? So
Right now it's me, a buddy, and two buddies of mine that are really helping me with the creative process and the manufacturing side of things. Because I don't know if I mentioned it in the pitch, but I'm not an engineer. I study psychology, and this is my minor. Entrepreneurship is my minor. So I'm figuring it all out as I go. But it's them, and then I have 3 classmates, but they're all busy. They're doing their own thing. It's just one class. So I have my sister that wants to help do the marketing. She helped me adjust some other things on the website. And my dad, yeah, he's a big supporter of it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
things
Don't
up.
do it.
So
Don't
you
do
need to
it.
talk to Matt. Where's Matt? He can give you some legal advice on going into partnership with your family.
I don't know.
Don't do it.
I won't partner with him. He's more of like a supporting
Nice.
role model. Yeah. Anyone else? I feel like I missed the
I
question.
have another one. Well, it's not really a question, but we can probably help connect you, like Tim was saying, with some people on campus with the injection molding and plastic people.
Yeah.
There was a woman, student Emily, who invented it's like plastic fin that goes on motorcycles for motorcycle racers to reduce the drag.
Yeah.
And she was able to use the wind tunnel on campus, and she, I think, was talking to the injection molding people. But they also helped her connect with the manufacturing partnership up here, and they freed up their machines to do some prototyping for her. So remind me, and we'll get you those. I know you're busy, but it doesn't hurt to.
It's good. That'll happen probably in the fall.
Okay.
Because I'll still be a student here, and I'll have this whole summer to keep refining that. Because I have a printer now, so I can just, did this work? Okay, it did. Oh, it didn't. And then go from there and just, refine it down to a point where I'm like, hey, is this feasible now? So, yeah.
What kind of printer did you use?
It's a, I'm blanking on it right now, CR10S4. Yeah, it's the big boy.
The old CR10S4.
So are you going to rent it out for people to borrow?
So this is the other thing. I'm going to let the 3D Printing Club borrow it whenever they need people to print, but it's also going to potentially be another source of revenue because I want to practice my R&D and stuff like that and design for people and just learn 3D printing. And I can charge people for it online and maybe have another platform like another website and have that basically fund at the very minimum my prototyping, so I don't have to pay for it. And then who knows from there. Yeah, I only have one printer though, so. But it's a big one.
have another one. So, well, we've got 4 more minutes. So, around your competition, I'm curious, you know, it seems like your competitors each have a different piece of what you're putting together here.
Yeah.
So, I'm wondering what kind of market share do they have, and could they go and reinvent this?
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I think that that's a big issue that I need to figure out, and I think that I'm addressing it by taking as many steps forward as possible to getting my idea solid. I talked to John at Chico State, and he said, because this is Thunder Leash right here, they have a distance control knob. I literally figured that out probably 3 weeks ago. They just showed up out of nowhere.
Wow.
I was like, uh-oh, half of my idea exists. So my braking feature, I've never found. I hope I don't find it, but this already exists and is patented. So John said you could probably patent the braking feature, but I mean, what's good? What's a patent good for if I can't back it with anything, you know? So I kind of want to just get my injection molds, go out there and just see what happens. See how many people I get following my project and, you know, my company, and just try to do the best I can, and just hope people just like my company more than they like the competition from what I'm doing.
Well, you can also help differentiate yourself because you are mountain biking. I mean, if you really focus on that target, mountain bikers in particular.
I think that was the original idea, and then I tried to stray away from it because I didn't think it was broad enough in scope. So I'm kind of leaning more back towards that.
You can always expand after, right? Circling back, I think it does make sense to focus on that niche.
Yeah, I think if I get that niche, I don't think it's going to be a big enough market for other people to be like, oh wow, you know, let's just hop in here real quick. And maybe I have enough establishment there to get a patent and protect it. And then, yeah.
Well, what you really got going is the hands-free part. All those other ones require you to have a hand on it. So anything that requires you to be doing something with your hands while you're with your animal, you've got that advantage. And even for people that are without an arm or something like that, having that hands-freeness that gives them basically an arm back that they would otherwise have to do.
People are definitely demanding it. This one is hands-free shoe because it wraps around the waist, but it's not retractable.
It doesn't retract.
Yeah, this one is the silliest product ever, but it's somehow successful. It wraps around your wrist. And I've seen pictures of people holding their phone with it attached to their wrist.
Swing.
If you're a small dog, I don't really know, but I think waist-mounted retractable is the way to go. Yeah.
Cool.
You bring up a good point though. Wheelchair.
Yeah.
So different ways of attaching to something besides your waist.
Have you seen that sidecar dog thing?
For a bike, or
It's just the dog actually pulls the owner along.
Yeah.
In a separate, like a sidecar type thing. It's different sizes, and even kind of a small dog is pulling this big guy around.
Yeah.
You look around for dog sidecar. That's an interesting. I think
there's a lot of really crazy ideas out there, and some of them really do fit a very small niche, and people use the products. Yeah. There's a one you can mount on your bike.
One more question. To wrap it up.
I just wanted to have a comment at the end of all that about the niches and whatnot. I think that just as a regular leash for someone walking their dog, for me personally at least, I'm totally interested.
Yeah.
Yeah, the no shoulder pulling out thing.
Yeah, I'm getting my
you
shoulder.
get the tug at your waist versus the tug la 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 versus la la la. Oh, okay, yeah, no, it's easier. I can handle that. A little jostle, but I have weak shoulders.
It's
too.
like instead of a
Pulls
leash
on my
training
shoulder,
your
I'm-
dog, you just get one of these things. You know?
All right.
Cool,
Thank you very much, everyone. That was awesome. Good luck in the competition.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for showing up to 1 Million Cups. Thank you again to Idea Fab Labs for hosting the facility, 6 Degrees Coffee for the awesome beverages, and BCAC for their awesome production skills and setting up this whole new layout today. It was very nice. We also see if you have not been here before, sign up on our sign-up sheet with Wendy. You can also like us on Facebook, 1 Million Cups Chico. Follow us on Twitter. There's also a 1 Million Cups app you can download to have on your phone, and it'll tell you about the upcoming speakers. And if you'd like to be an organizer and be part of this group, contact ourselves on the Facebook or the website. Thank you very much for your time, everybody. Have a great week.